Now, you know what Trump said about the NFL? He said, wouldn't you love to see any of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now. He's fired, right? Well, apparently owners in NASCAR were asked about this, and some of them decided to be very conservative, but hold, because there's lots of twists and turns in this story, which makes sense, lots of turns at NASCAR. Yeah. All right, okay. So now we go to the Hill. Former NASCAR champion Richard Petty told the Associated Press that any member of his team would be fired if they chose to protest the national anthem. Petty now owns Richard Petty Motorsports. So he's joining Trump and saying, yes, if you do something I don't agree with politically and you speak your mind, I'll fire you. Now, he does have the right to do that because he's not the government. Trump pressuring people to do that as the government, as the leader of the government, unfortunately, is a First Amendment issue. Whether he takes action is a separate story. Trump. Petty can do this. I don't know if it's advisable, but he can. Petty said, quote, anybody that don't stand up for the anthem ought to be out of the country, period. What got them where they're at? The United States. And a couple other things, okay, and their parents and their community and their friends. And anyway, and their ability to drive a car, apparently. So Petty's on one side, I got it. And by the way, he's got his right to his opinion too. If I don't want him to fire anybody over it, but if during the anthem he wanted to do jumping jacks and shout for joy and play, okay, have at it, Hoss. Okay, that's your right. Now we go to another owner, Richard Childress, a former driver who owns Richard Childress Racing, said any protest from his team members would get you a ride on a Greyhound bus. So second owner threatening to fire people over it. Trump must be happy, and he is. He tweets, so proud of NASCAR and his supporters and fans. They won't put up with disrespecting our country or our flag. They said it loud and clear. Now hold, we're gonna get to that in a second. But first, I want to give credit to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Not everybody in NASCAR agrees. Earnhardt put out a great statement. He said all Americans are granted rights to peaceful protests. And then he quoted JFK saying, those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. Damn, look at Dale Earnhardt Jr. Okay, that's a wonderful ode, not to being progressive. I don't know what his personal politics are, but to this country, saying that's the whole point of America. That's why we got a national anthem in the first place, because we have the right and the freedom to do what we want during the national anthem. You missed the whole point of the country. So bless his heart on that. Then NASCAR had to put out a statement that basically splits the baby. And it was artfully done. Here, let me read it to you. They said, sports are a unifying influence in our society, bringing people of differing backgrounds and beliefs together. Our respect for the national anthem has always been a hallmark of our pre-race events. Thanks to the sacrifices of many, we live in a country of unparalleled freedoms and countless liberties, including the right to peacefully express one's opinion. So in other words, national anthem is awesome, respect the flag, respect the troops, but part of respecting it is respecting other people's right to speak out. You know what, I'll take it, I'll take it. They kind of played to both sides, but that's all right, God bless. They emphasize the right to speak out, so that's a good thing. But Jameel Hill, who's of course on ESPN and covers sports, she tweeted, now I think that this might have been before the NASCAR statement, but she wrote, but that Confederate flag is welcome anytime at NASCAR races, hashtag the irony. So we did look around and it turns out, oh yeah, the Confederate flag is often flown at NASCAR races. To be fair, so is the pirate flag. Okay, there's a Trump flag, a Confederate flag, and an American flag all at once. And then now these are pictures from 2015. And that's very relevant, and I'll tell you why. Because in 2015, NASCAR tried to do the right thing. So credit where credit is due, be fair and honest to everybody, okay? So you might not agree with some of the NASCAR owners. But in 2015, NASCAR said, please stop bringing Confederate flags to the races. It's not a good look. You know what their fans did? Screw off. They brought even more Confederate flags. And that effort, that was a well-intentioned effort by NASCAR, failed. But there's a twist to that. They said, if you want to, bring in your Confederate flag and we'll give you an American flag instead. Because I don't know if these folks remember that, but the Confederates did a revolution against America. So they rebelled against America, they committed treason against America. So NASCAR said, why don't we give you our flag instead? I mean, look at the irony of that. To salute a flag that not only did not respect America, our national anthem and our flag, but actually declared war against it. Nothing could be more disrespectful to the American flag than bringing and waving a Confederate flag. They went to war against us. They tried to rip this country apart. Luckily, they lost. And when NASCAR said, we'll give you an American flag instead, a lot of the fans said, no thank you, we'd rather keep the Confederate flag. Again, don't judge all NASCAR fans. They didn't all do that. Some portion of them did that, and there are plenty of pictures and videos from those races in 2015 to prove that. So it is an interesting point by Jameel Hill, point very well taken. But unfortunately, because of Trump, everybody's divided now, and there's no uniform opinion of NASCAR. Unfortunately, they too are divided. Here's an idea. Why don't we rally around, yes, the American flag, but more importantly, what the American flag stands for? It stands for freedom, and that includes the freedom of speech and the freedom to speak out to make America better. And yes, that includes making our government and our policing better. If you say we should not speak out against the police, which are part of our government, to make them better, then you did not understand this country at all, and you don't respect us, our flag, or our anthem. Support independent media. Come join us at the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.